Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Horror Debate. My name is Jeff Rowdy J. Kier, and with me, as always, Michael Mandy.
And this week we're going to be reviewing 1977's film by Dario Argento, Suspiria.
Alrighty.
Now, this film, believe it or not, people go nuts over this film. People have been going nuts over this film ever since it came out. It was a highly bootlegged VHS tape when video first was coming out back in the early 80s. And this is a lot of people's first foray into Italian horror. Mm-hmm. And people go nuts over this film.
It's going to be my last. I just want to say it right now.
I really hope not.
My first foray, my last foray. No, I'm kidding, obviously. But, okay. Now,
this is like the most widely watched horror film outside of Italy, I read.
Oh, well, here's the deal, man. I remember when you first viewed this, and you actually told me, you said, man.
Way back in the infancy when the horror debate was just getting started,
you
told me, hey, I just got this movie that everyone's going nuts over called Suspiria. And I said, really? I've got it too.
Yeah.
Why don't you watch it?
And I took forever to watch it. And I think it's because I subliminally kind of knew what I was getting myself into here. I looked at the cover, and it's talking about like this, what was it, like psychopathic horror, psychos.
The only thing scarier than the last 5 minutes is the first 85.
Right. I'm sitting there going, yeah, right, okay. You know, what movie lives up to their promises, number one, you know? But, okay, here's the deal with this flick, okay? I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to, you know, it wasn't going to be something I was going to say, hey, man, you got to check out this movie, you know? But it was different, and I'll give it credit just for that. But the color schemes, man. What was this guy tripping on?
This film is definitely a mushroom-induced film, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, man!
Colors were nuts. It's and they purposely did it that way. They did the three-strip Technicolor thing. On the DVD, they have a whole feature on how they did it and why to make those colors so vibrant, so rich, and so everything. I think Dario was trying to do his version of Alice in Wonderland.
I think Dario got his drugs mixed up, man. It was kind of cool. And one thing I got to mention is that
it's almost like a fantasy.
This DVD is THX certified, believe it or not. I mean, for a movie this old, unless it's Star Wars or something, to be THX certified.
Well, I told you, people went nuts over this film.
You know, I was surprised.
This film is legitimately
a big surprised.
deal. This is a big deal.
So I'm watching it, and I'm seeing all these colors flash. You got strong green, strong blue, strong
when the
reds.
rain's falling, they have this bright red. It looks like blood dripping all over the car.
And I usually like that sort of thing, and it did kind of work for this movie, although I was like, whoa, you know, my eyes were just tripping off this. I watched this on a huge, you know, HD TV 70-incher, you know, and I'm like, whoa, this thing is just tripping me out. You know, it's kind of cool. I'm not sure what it added to the movie, to be honest with you. It just kind of freaked me out, I think, but beyond that.
It was meant to freak people out.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, and like I said, though, I like it to add something to the movie, and I'm not sure it did. I'm not sure this is even the type of movie that you could watch like a single time and really get all the nuances of what he was trying to do, because, I mean, it's freaking 3 DVDs. Yeah. If you could watch it one time and get everything, you're a better man than me.
Well, to be honest, the third DVD is the soundtrack by Goblin.
Oh, well, good. I can toss that one.
Euro prog rock band. They did Dawn of the Dead, too, by Romero.
Well, I can toss that one. Anyway.
Come on, the music was kind of creepy.
Well, yeah, they had some cheesy video on there. You know, like on the first disc, there was a music video, and it had no lyrics. It was just like this band playing, making these cheesy faces. You ever see Dana Carvey imitate a rock band? Okay, you ever seen his stand-up routine where he's imitating the way a lead guitar player looks when he's soloing, like he's constipated, you know, and he's got his, you know, face all scrunched up? This is exactly what was in this video. First thing out of my mouth when I'm watching to my wife is Dana Carvey, right? I mean, it was bad. I mean, but obviously, you know, made back in '77. I mean, you're going to get cheese, glam, weird stuff, right? I mean, it fit the motif. Let's put it like that.
Okay. So
what was the delivery of the lines, dude? What these people?
Once again, this was one of those Italian films where they filmed without sound.
And it should have stayed that way, man. I mean, it was brutal.
And then they dubbed the sound in afterwards.
It was brutal. No. If you get professionals to come in to dub a movie, they got to do better than this, man. I mean, I was sitting there looking at my wife going, what the hell?
Well, yeah, that's why some of the girls were speaking English and some of them weren't.
Well, and that's something she pointed out to me. She said that depending on what the original languages were of the people that were in the movie, that's what they spoke.
Right.
So if they were German, they spoke German. No wonder I was confused.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I had 14 different languages going on throughout this movie.
But they did have the main actresses, the ones that spoke English, doing their own voices.
Yeah.
Like Joan Bennett.
Right. You know what? I'll tell you the honest truth. I kind of dug the main chick, man. She was kind of cute.
Yeah, she was perfectly cast as that. She had those doe eyes.
Yeah,
That total bewilderment, a person thrown into a totally foreign situation.
Oh, yeah.
And she was perfect in it.
I agree. Perfect.
And Joan Bennett added a lot of class to it as the
perfect,
head
perfect.
lady.
No, she was.
Yeah.
She absolutely did a great job.
She was in Dark Shadows.
Yeah. You know, I got to say, I was sitting here watching this thing, and I was kind of like waiting for it to start. You know, like about 20 minutes in, you know.
Oh, come on. The first 20 minutes was that first kill with the
That's what I was going to get to, okay? About the
Okay.
20-minute mark or so, you're getting the first kind of cool kill, but you don't see it. You know, you don't really see it. You see the after effect of it. The one I'm referring to is the glass shard through the face.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
okay.
Which
Yeah.
I kind of dug.
But that was supposed to be that was the bonus because you were supposed to be all gored up. Remember, 1977.
Right.
They didn't show nothing. All of a sudden,
Right.
you've got this body falling, not only getting brutally stabbed, but then falling bit by bit through this pane glass. And then when she's falling, the cord wraps around and she gets hung.
But do you
and
know
then you
why
see
that-
all the blood dripping down.
Do
and then
you
they
know
go,
why that scene was rendered completely ineffective for me?
Why?
Do you know why I sat there and laughed during that scene when that chick was hanging there from the ceiling?
Why?
Because she was bleeding Frank's hot sauce. It was orange buffalo sauce. It was not red blood.
Well, because back then they had to exaggerate the colors so the censors wouldn't go nuts over
I
it.
was looking for chicken wings. It was bad. I mean, you know, you got to get closer to red than that.
No.
I mean, my tint is not off, dude. Okay, let me tell you that right now. I got that TV optimized. Okay,
Yes.
It is not off, and I'm sitting there looking at it, going, Frank's. I'm hungry. When's lunch? You know, I don't know. It's just me. You know, but you know, everything in the world is Suspiria. This is my other point that I got to make that I found absolutely freaking funny throughout this entire thing. Why is everything in the world of Suspiria worth $50?
Beg your pardon?
Do you know what I'm referring to?
I have no idea.
Everything they were talking about.
Oh, yeah,
every,
the room
every
was $50.
No, wait. It wasn't just the rent. It was the dance shoes. It was like several items throughout that small period of the movie in the middle. Everything that they spoke about that required money was $50. I said, so that's probably what they paid each actor in the movie is what I'm figuring. And that's what the figure they were stuck on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the kind of performance they gave. You know, most of them anyway. Okay. So,
Next.
I'm just being honest. Don't shoot me for it. What is with the freaky little blonde kid? What is with this guy? What is he on the special bus? This guy's he's blonde. He's got like a bowl cut going on and a little half tuxedo with the shorts, little outfit. You know,
It was a very strange Baroque type school, and the costumings was.
the director would go Baroque if he tried to market this right now. Okay, in 2007, it was horrible. What was with that outfit? I mean, you know, I can't get over it, dude. And he didn't even say anything to defend himself.
No, but at least the dog ate him.
Well,
Off screen though, too bad.
well, yeah. Why are you giving stuff away, man? Come on, now it's supposed to be spoiler free, man.
yeah, but this movie came out in '77.
Yeah, I know the whole thing's a spoiler, but anyway, no, the kid bothered me on like a real personal level. I mean, the kid was he was on screen, looking completely lost, and you're like, who is this kid? What is he doing? What's his role? You know, later on in the movie, granted, okay, later towards the end of the movie, we kind of figure out what's going on with the kid.
Right.
Okay, but it bothered me throughout the movie. I just wanted to bring up that point there. Okay, now the other kill that I was really liking, okay, this one brought me to my roots.
Let me guess, the razor wire.
Yes!
I know you.
Yes!
so well.
I thought I was watching a Mick Foley classic match, man. This is good stuff. You know, and although it wasn't really realistic. You know,
No.
You looked at the wire. There was like no razor, no sharp edges. It wasn't barbed.
Well,
it
but
wasn't
you had
razor
the
wire.
actress falling into it and
Yeah,
crawling
but
around
she's-
on
yeah,
it. and
okay,
everything,
okay.
You know.
Let me tell you why this scene was rendered ineffective for me. Okay,
Okay.
because when she lands in the wire, she's like doing the backstroke to try to get out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to move her body as much as possible so she gets thoroughly ripped up for the camera.
Right, for the camera.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there. It's obvious. You can't just give it away like that, Mike. I mean, come on now. Then they come back to her. My wife even said, she goes, that ain't razor wire. I'm not sure what that is. You know, but she ain't getting cut by that.
No.
You know, she's swimming in it.
Well,
you know?
1977, they didn't have as much experience as seeing what razor wire really does to people's bodies.
I could show them some matches from 1977, and they'd know exactly what razor wire was. Come on, Mike. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. What was the deal with...
This is the Rowdy Rant Fest, man. Welcome to the Rowdy Rant Fest.
I got so much stuff for this review. I got so much material for this review. I've been working it up all day. Now it's just spewing out of me, right? Okay, what was the deal with the dude trying to open the door with the knife? Okay, what was he, a midget? He couldn't reach the lock? Did you notice every time he came up to that and slid that knife in there,
and moved it up and
like
down?
He could not reach where the lock was. I said, get the man a stool. Let's get the scene over with. The scene was like going 10 minutes. And the guy's up there with
because
the thing going back and forth. Oh, it just bothered me, Mike. Just bothered me. This movie had so many moments where I just sat there and I shook my head in disbelief that somebody watched this and said, that's what I was going for.
Because, as I was saying, this movie was not to be taken literally. It's supposed to be like a trippy fantasy thing, and showing the horror and the psychological.
With a midget killer?
No, he had the hairy arm though. Remember when he grabbed that girl and shoved her face
I've seen
against
hairy
the glass?
midgets. Okay, no, but what? Explain to me then. Explain to me why he couldn't reach that lock.
Because it was supposed to be...
Oh, okay, so now you're going to say it's supposed to be... Okay, no, why couldn't the killer slide that knife up 2 more inches to hit that lock?
Because it was supposed
He was a midget! He was a midget! I know exactly what you're going to tell me. He was a midget, okay? End of story. Nothing against midgets, by the way. I think you're all cool people.
Little people.
Cool little people, excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. But
it was to generate emotions within you, the viewer, watching the film. This is not a film to be taken literally. I mean, come on. Did you notice when she's looking one direction, the room is bathed in bright red, and then when she turns around, the room is bathed in bright green?
It gave me an emotion.
Yeah.
It almost like triggered a motion. It triggered my motion to press this pause button and look at somebody going, what am I watching here?
Yep.
Because somebody call Mike and tell him this movie is ridiculous, okay? That's what I was thinking, okay? And then, okay, now here's another thing that I know you're going to love, is that,
Udo Kier
had hair.
Yeah, Udo.
Oh, no relation, by the way. Udo Kier, Rowdy Kier,
Yeah,
yeah.
No relation.
No relation.
Yeah, when I first met him, I'm going, dude, are you related? Come on, hook me up, man. Give me an autograph.
No. Totally different,
Udo.
unfortunately.
Udo's the man.
But Udo had hair.
Yeah, Udo was a good-looking young man,
And
wasn't he?
Udo kind of did a good job, I thought, in this movie for what he could do.
And what was Udo's point in this film? To fill the audience in with as much backstory because they couldn't show it.
And then
just, here's the reason why all this is happening,
right.
And I'm telling you the reason why. Okay, audience, get that? That's what Udo's point was.
Well, exactly. And that's why he was effective, was that, he kind of brought things together a little bit for, like, me and the rest of the 15 million lost crowd who watched this movie.
The lost souls.
The lost, I mean, what are we watching here? Then Udo comes on, lays it all out for us.
And says, here's what's going on.
Right?
All right.
And, okay, good.
Y'all brought up to speed now? Okay,
good.
now go back to the academy.
Why couldn't we had Udo, like, at the beginning of the movie, right? Why couldn't we have him, like, the Star Wars, how the text scrolls towards the screen? Why couldn't we just had all the backstory right there, I mean,
Suspiria, episodes 4.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I would have been much better. Now, after I talked to Udo for that 15 minutes or whatever it was, I felt like I should have gone back and watched the movie again.
Well, now that you know the whole story and you know what to expect, if you watch this film a second time, maybe you might appreciate it just a little bit more.
I think you're pushing it, Mike.
I found I did, believe it or not. The first time I saw it, I had your reactions. Oh my God, look at this. Red on one side, blue on the other.
You sat through it again?
Yeah, I watched it twice.
Are you high?
Not now.
Not now, but now you were after watching it 2 times, weren't you? Yeah. This is the kind of movie that you will be stopped for a DUI if you watch it twice in a row. Okay, you'll have so many flashing lights in front of you, you won't know what's going on. Okay, I'm telling you the truth. This movie will trip your eyes out. Watch it on a big screen from like 6 feet back. Better yet, watch it on a projection system from like 6 feet back, like 100 inches or something. It'll blow your mind.
Well, this movie was made to be shown on a big, giant, 40-foot TV movie screen.
Yeah, or you could have the same effect by just setting up a flashing light right 2 inches from your eyes and just letting it rip. Okay, that would be the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so the ending. The ending of the movie. I got to touch on this a little bit, all right? Because, there wasn't one, right? I mean,
there was one.
Well, sort of. I mean, it just kind of went, and it was, the credits were rolling.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well, she got out of the house and the head witch was dead.
so they want to give us all this backstory, but can't afford 2 more minutes to wrap it up? I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, you what do you planning for Suspiria too?
What are they going to wrap it up with? The police showing up. Hello, ma'am. Did you know
no,
your building
just
all burned down to the
something.
ground? You're the only one who ran out. Why are all these people laying here with these things sticking out of
Well,
their
they
heads?
could have thought of something. They could have had Udo come back in and explain why they couldn't afford an ending. You know what I mean? I mean, they could have had something like that. You know, I mean, I just felt like it just kind of stopped, and I don't really like movies that do that, to be honest with you. I don't want to be spoon-fed the ending, but I would like to have a little bit of closure. I mean, I spent an hour and whatever it was like almost 2 hours or something like that. You know, watching this thing, trying to figure out what the hell I was watching, and then at the end, cut, credits. And I'm like, I just felt so unfulfilled, man. I was like, you know,
Rowdy felt unfulfilled.
if I was to go to the theater and watch this, you know, I'd be pissed.
Okay,
Okay.
The thing is, with these different Italian directors, okay, you've got your my mind just shot. Mario Bava.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got him. You've got Dario, and you've got all these other and you know, Dario is kind of like. He thinks of his films as works of art rather than I'm going to get a bunch of gore, freak the hell out of my audience, and cash those checks.
Right.
You know, Dario spends a lot more time with, gee, if I angle the camera this way and I pull it back, it'll pull this, it'll mean this. And if I do the camera that, it'll mean that.
And as long as he packages the movie with a book of definitions to tell us what he meant, then it's lost.
I mean, like another Dario film, Two Evil Eyes, where a guy drops a set of keys from the 3rd floor to the 1st. The camera follows the keys all the way down. He didn't need to do that, didn't do anything, but just made you go, wow, cool visual.
Okay, but those
Dario likes cool visuals.
That's fine.
That don't really mean anything, just to say, look, I did a lot of work on this film.
You know what? That's all fine and dandy, but I thought most of it in this movie was lost on everybody. Nobody really knew what the heck he was trying to say or trying to do, or if it's just
obviously
artsy.
Someone did. This is the most successful Italian horror film.
Well, what's it up against?
Zombie.
Super Mario zombies? I mean, come on, man. I mean, what's it up against? Demons? We've already been through that. We've already been through it. Okay? I mean, it's not up against, like, stiff competition here, you know? I mean, if it was, I could just see people going, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, there's no competition here. Anyway, let me just go on a little bit. The tagline for this movie, what was it, Mike?
The only thing more horrifying than the last 5 minutes is the first 85.
And I would agree with that, but I have the whole horrifying thing in a completely definition.
When the two girls
completely different definition
in the swimming pool, not moving the water around, I'll say I wasn't horrified when they were going.
I will say that the
Did you like the maggots?
The last lady, the last
Did you like the maggot scene?
lady, the blonde chick. Okay.
Yeah.
She
Razor Wire makes a reappearance.
That
was pretty freaky.
She was cool. She was cool.
Good,
She acted it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the makeup was actually effective in that scene.
And
she didn't look like she was bleeding Frank's hot sauce anymore.
All right.
Okay. So they found the color red. And they used it, which I appreciated, okay? Because I was you don't know how hungry I was by the end of this
Well, what
movie.
about the effects of the head witch lady too? At
Yeah,
the end, for the
I
'70s.
didn't jump up and do the wave over it, but you know, it was okay. You know, I mean, and I think that's the bottom line with this movie. I did appreciate the fact, and I want to say this very clearly, so all these studios that listen can understand where somebody like me is coming from. I love the art of horror movies, okay? And I'm not saying that by my comments in this review that I'm dissing that. I'm really not, okay? I love the art of it. And I love it when the studios take the time, when there is a medium that will produce the sort of images and sound that the director was intending to put out to the audience, that the studio takes the time to remaster, clean up, make it look and sound the way it should, make it the THX thing. I am 10 times more apt to buy that than I am seeing the Dolby Pro Logic, 2-channel, all the effects through the center channel, nothing in the rears, crap that a lot of these horror movies are put out on. And I think that if you don't think it's going to sell to begin with, don't put it out, okay? Take the time, clean it up, and I will buy it. And I know a lot of people that feel the same way. We like to have the quality goods. And I really have to commend them for the packaging that this came in. And the book
Yeah, it came with a cool book.
And all of it. I mean, I
telling
thought,
you how big of a deal this film was.
You were buying an experience when you bought this movie. Okay, yes, I'll probably turn that into a joke later. But the bottom line is, you were buying an experience. You were getting additional materials with it. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was like a historical document kind of.
Yeah, I absolutely commend them for that. And I don't know what I paid for it, but I want to say it was like $30-something, for the DVD, which. In my view,
and the soundtrack came with it too, and
well,
that's very.
I don't know about
no,
that.
but I mean, come on, if you're spending that
if
much,
it was a decent soundtrack, I'd say but
there were points in it that were cool.
But what I'm saying is that I think that it is better for the studios to put the extra effort in and release a quality product. I've seen too many movies lately that have been taken directly from tape, thrown on DVD, not cleaned up. The sound is crap. You spend $10,000 for an awesome sound system, and you're listening through one speaker. And I can't stand that. This medium, and now that we're moving into HD DVD and we're moving into Blu-ray. The studios have got to step up, and if they really believe in the product and they really believe in the art behind the product, master it right, like this was done. I don't care how bad I kept on the movie. This movie was treated correctly, and that's my point.
What more can I add?
So, stars for the actual movie.
Okay, for the actual movie.
For the actual movie, forget what it came on, forget what it came with. Stars for this actual movie.
1 star.
1.
Okay.
And it's
Why
mostly because I think a lot of it, what he wanted to do, was lost on the audience. I think
at least lost on you.
Well, I was the audience.
Okay.
What was lost was like you said, some of the artsy stuff was like a little over the top. Okay, the acting, some of these guys, I don't know where they got them. Okay, like the blind dude. Right? When he's
dog acted
throwing
better
a
than
fit about his dog, have you ever in your life heard worse acting than that? I mean, Rick Springfield looks like Clint Eastwood when it comes to this stuff. I mean, and this guy, he was so bad. It was just so overdone. It was crap. It was crap.
I've got a visual of Rick Springfield going, "Go ahead, make my day."
He could do it. I love Rick. Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway.
Loves Rick.
1 star because it didn't grab me. I thought the lead female was fantastic, to be honest with you, and I'd give her 5 stars in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is that this movie as a whole, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought it had a great premise. I thought some of the kill scenes were very cool. For 77, they went for some gore. I mean, not what we have now in the 2006 and 2007. But I mean, hey, here's a bonus. Let's, look, there's a chick with glass sticking out of her head. We didn't have to do that, but let's do it anyways. Just as a 1-2 sucker punch you. At the end, the thing in the neck. I mean, with the head witch lady. Those were pretty cool effects, but yeah, I agree. It definitely was too much like a bad acid trip. How much easier can you define that? I mean, that is exactly what this movie was. I mean, that just lays it out perfectly. Yeah. It really felt at the end like you were just coming off that high and going, huh? Yeah. Where am I? I mean, it was a visually striking film. I mean, you've got to see this and there's no such thing as normal wallpaper in this film. I mean,
dude, I knew you were going to dig the wallpaper. I thought about that.
I mean, in the lady's apartment, the black and white striped wallpaper, and then they go into this crazy Baroque furniture everywhere, and there's not one plain wall anywhere.
Yeah.
But all style and not much substance.
Yeah, you're right.
1 star. All right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff, and we'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.